asalaamaaleykum askan bi ñu nuyuwaat leen fii ci Star TV seen programme bi Traffic Talk man la seen doomi ndey Kawsu Badji as we always do you welcome to another edition of the Traffic Talk. I am your host Kawsu Badji. Last week we've discussed briefly about key issues when it comes to road safety, and one of the issues that we've looked at is how can we make the Gambia a safe zone for driving come 2027. We know 2026 is an election year, and the previous report, 20 of the Global Road Safety Index was looked into, where we looked at 2021, 2022, and 2023, where Gambia was ranked among the highest or most risky zones to drive. However, we are heading to an election year, and still we will continue to amplify the advocacy in making Gambia a safe zone to drive. Today, briefly, we will be looking at road safety requirement compliance, law and enforcement. We know very well that without the enforcement of these laws, it will be difficult. But we also know without looking at some of the laws and updating them, it will also be difficult. In the studio, we have representative from the Gambia Police Force, ably represented by PRO. We have Honorable Yaya M. Sanyang, who is also a National Assembly member, but chairperson of the committee that is also responsible for road safety matters. And then we have the representative of the Transport Union, Mr. Sambu. Mr. Sambu, dalal la jàmm ci programme bi.
Asalaamaaleykum di nuyu ñu seetaan yëpp. Kawsu di nuyu di Star TV management yëpp. Di nuyu suñu viewers di nuyu suñu boss yi nga xam ne ñoo nekk ci kaw talib. Di nuyu PRO ak suma brother Yaya. Di leen nuyu di ne ñun moom fii suñ kër la. Léegi moom we are partners fii suñ kër la di nuyu ñëpp ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi ñu seetaan di leen nuyu Star TV bu baax with Star Radio.
jërëjëf mu nekk lu am solo honorable ki nga xamante ne moom mooy Dr. Gassama tey mënut koo fekkee mënut a attend programme bi because am na ay nganta but honorable ngay jiya programme oto.
Thank you very much Kawsu ngay konto. Even though I think this is the third time, second program, but I'm yesterday, whatever happened, I must go for this program. Na Transport Union Condom, Umar Sise, Nadine Dongol, the Langa approve Birkam when he was very, very young. Napia Rokondong, Mr. Sisa, who was also my classmate at the law school. So it's going to be a very interactive program, and we are all given a talking points, which probably we are going to deliberate very well on. It's a problem, road transport issue. Its safety is a very big concern in this country, and it's like very, very minimal efforts allocated to make sure we have a very fewer accidents. But you cannot also impute this responsibility to anyone. We are all responsible as citizens, and we will see how do we tackle this in the future. Thank you very much, Kawsu.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Piero, ñu dalal la jàmm. We welcome you to this edition of the Traffic Talk.
jërëjëf kontaan naa trop pour ñëw bokk si waxtaan bi comme ni ko dee defee rek saa yu nekk soo leen ñu ooyee warugal la ko ñu ñëw uyu ji mun a waxtaan ak askan bi te maa ngi gërëm di management of Star TV ak suma collègues yoo xam ne ñoo fi toog comme Sanya ni mu ko waxee honorable suma collègue la woon at the university suñ transport union ñooñu moom suñ stakeholders la ñu moom su waxee driver day loolu lañ di wax ñu ne driver yi ak police yi moom
they are friends.
Exactly, and we appreciate this, and hopefully we'll be able to have a discussion around, why some of the things are happening and what are the way forward, hopefully.
Indeed, Piero, we will want to briefly start with law and enforcement. I know Doctor is not here, that is Dr. Gassama, and you could not jail through linga hamantene road safety, land moy linga hamantene key regulation. But what is certain is road safety is a cross-cutting issue. It affects everybody, and therefore it requires a common approach. Where we all, like how he always call it, it requires a holistic approach. All sectors are important. But today, suñu li nga xamantene mom moy laws yi nga xamantene ñom ñofi nekk lu bari liñ la wax moy loi yagana 1947 ba tay ou 1948 nekk na li nga xamantene lu yaga waye ba legi yi lañ fi am there were few amendments yi nga xamantene def mo nañ ko ci waye ñu ne enforcement bi ci loxo police la nekk bu gën a briefly rek nga yóbbu ñu ci li nga xamantene mom moy enforcement di road safety su ñëwé ci walu loi yu omba walu road safety naka lañ ko understanding for a better understanding before ñu yaatal programme bi.
Well, jërëjëf comme noo ko waxee noonu la fa nekkee enforcement of all laws in this country Gambia Police Force moo si dee jiitu especially internal security te su gën a am solo especially faana ju nga waxee nii mooy faana trafic bi mooy moto bi dama ka ñëw te trafic bi soo ko seetloo dara two important aspect mooy moto bi si boppam parce que police yi seen intérêt foofu la nekk moto bi si boppam ak ku ko dawal the traffic regulation and the act loo xam ne moto yoo xam ne ñoo nekk si kaw bi yan moto ñoo xam ne ñoo war a daw si kaw yoon bi requirement loolu la ñuy wax requirement ndax moto bi am na requirement pour mu nekk si kaw yoon mooy moto bi si boppam mu am documents moto bi si boppam mu doon loo xam ne test nañ ko police di ñëw test moto bi whether is fit ñu am clearance for all of that te moto bi si boppam dafa am anam boo xam ne noonu la fa war a mel mooy ne moto bi comme signal yi ak yooyu noonu because soo nekk si trafic bi yooyu yëpp dañu war a nekk noo xam ne mu ngi dox brakes lights si su nekk si nawet la waaye parce que and everything miir aussi parce que yaa ngi dawal da ngaa communicate ak beneen moto boo xam ne keneen nekku fa so loolu yëpp am na solo ñaareel bi nag mooy driver bi si boppam koo xam ne moo war a drive firstly il faut mu nekk koo xam ne am na lu ñëw wax am na the permission or the authority pour mu mun a dawal lan moo dee wone loolu mooy driver's license absolute driver's license bi boromam dafa war a am driver's license so driver's license tamit am na ay different category understand waaye generally lu fi am rek mooy we have the provisional driver's license moo xam ne we call it learners nit ñi noonu lañ ko xamee learners su nekkee ne mun nga moto yaa nga moto waaye sa loxo seetaangut waaye il faut nga dugg si trafic bi pour nga mun a miin trafic nga am provisional mooy learners nga duggal te si moto bi lu ba da nga faa gis la L ñu ko tay si kanam ak si gannaaw pour ñuy dawal sa gannaaw ñu xam ne kii moom dafaa jéem
jàng
waaye nekkut koo xam ne musta dawal moto ak all mu ñëw si trafic bi noonu déedéet du noonu lañ ko dee defee that is one then nga am what we call after learners nga am what we call either private license or private vehicle license or nga am commercial te commercial nag soo ñëwee foofu moo xam ne dafa am ay outils different category ay power tiller ay truck ay gele ay van ay taxi different categories ñoo fa nekk qualification in terms of tons nga am 2 tonnes 20 tonnes 30 tonnes moto bi nga war a dawal so nga am tamit lu ñuy wax tamit OSGG yoo xam ne comme government vehicles la or under the service of the Gambia government loolu mu ngi fa den nga amaat également lu ñuy wax international driver's license loolu yëpp si catégorie boobu la nekk so in general lii yëpp police yi ñooy taxaw si kaw yoon bi te soo ñëwee trafic bi we have what we call traffic management and traffic control wala traffic management traffic control so control bi and traffic check are two different things si lu bëri dañoo gis drive especially suba teel police yi ñu dee def si kaw laan bi si lu bëri mooy to control the traffic the flow of traffic pour avoid congestion pour avoid yooyu waaye si traffic control boobu noonu tamit mun ngaa def traffic check up waaye lu bëri su nekkee kuy ñëw yow sax booba as a police gis na ko nu moo dawale ak nu moo behave mu taxaw fu mu war a taxaw non stop fu war a stop no parking fu mu war a park mu ngi dawal moto boo xam ne daf la woon ne something is wrong time boobu la nga ñu bëri ñu war ne ok bàyyi yoon bi mu bàyyi yoon bi I like ko particular sax because you want to establish ndax moom si boppam am na document ndax moto bi am na document foofu la dee starté te ñu bëri ñëw loo maa laajee suma document bi
much more with insurance and license
lan laa def understand nga bi nga maa laaj that's not the question is first dafa bëgg a establish whether yow li nga dawal si boppam am nga di authority pour dawal absolument moo tax ñuy laaj sa driver's license mu ngi sa driver's license mu seet ban moto nga amee mu confirm understand nga then mu laajte tamit insurance of the vehicle tamit mu xam what is the capacity of the vehicle overload si ak yooyu noonu so lii yëpp daf si bokka waaye generally si traffic control bi lii du fa dee am generally lu dee am mooy when there is check di nga check points foo xam ne check point yaa fa nekk pour seet moto yi te lu si bëri in suñu Sénégal yoon buy dem Westfield
waaw Transgambia
la dee gën a am nañ ko si biir dëkk bi or less also if it is lu ñuy wax comme spot check dafa am yoo xam ne sometimes police would just come just for a purpose ñu am fi check point because they are looking for something ñu mun a téye moto yi maybe am nañ information ne somebody with something is passing or yu mel noonu dañ ko dee mën a am sometimes operations yi dañ dee am waaye generally these are the laws that these are the areas that in terms of laws and regulation that we are enforcing to ensure ne moto yoo xam ne ñoo nekk si kaw yoon yi nekk nañ moto yoo xam ne war nañ nekk si kaw yoon tout ñoo xam ne ñu ngi dawal moto nekk na ñoo xam ne they have authority when they are licensed to drive, with respect to all the licenses that we have mentioned earlier.
jërëjëf ci leeral boobu rawatina fi nga xamante ne leeral nga ne am na li nga xamante ne moom mooy traffic management mooy contrôle bi ak li nga xamante ne moom mooy checkpoint because often da ngaa dégg ñu ne moj moo suba au late ngoon su ñoo wàcca ñëpp dañ dee yaakamte aga seen kër yi wala ñëpp dañ dee yaakamte aga seen liggéeykaay nga dégg fu nekk ñu police yi taxaw foofu ñu waste sa time ba pare duñ la check so now it is clear ne lu ñoo ooyee waste time is to manage the traffic but not for check up. Thank you so much for clarification boobu te loolu rafetlu nañ ko trop. Honorable, mbe min jibe la wolom nanata ni mi yalon ko wolom luwal because comme nga fa nyami police wol wolle be manalen ka luwal tamandi bare mi yalon ko wolom dibitel wolle be maralen fanan ka luwa tunkan ka dada pour mol fanan se mona fangala nanata ni mi yalon ko wolom tanin na la karola luwa min bijan jamal sa fuko ko totale bayri atole be luwa nyim fa ko bren luwa nyim be tunkan na gambia ma fan soto wolom nanata ni mi yalon ko wolom maralo la karola bare fo bi wala bije farindin dur ketaje bare fo sain aka munta ko luwa kotolo nata ni mi ya lon ko wolom luwal mi ya lon ko wole be mararen tani na la karola e kam fo ko motor traffic act jamal sa fo ko luwa ni mi ya lon ko wolom to lañi update kutolti because nga lon ne ko kudol bi jele bare nanata ni mi ya lon ko wolom pour ka alandaro lom bang fo accident o bayri accident dol bi jenta workil la alandaro ti they are human errors but nanata ni mi yalon ko alandaro la karola ni accident no keta best practice mi fo wolon rescue ni nyanta kala mako ro nyanta kala bare jamal sa foko fo sign na luwal kono aka munta ko hellol bi jele wala jamal la wosio wol aman wol timmandi follow tanina la luwala aning mi yalon ko wolon nyirin karoti fo.
Okay, thank you very much Kausu, and I thank the PRO for laying the proper foundation to this discussion. One of the law means here at Gambia found is Motor Traffic Act is older than the country because in a sense that it was here well before we became independent. So I think the last amendment, if my memory could serve me well, when we are interacting with the ministry was 1953, or if my memory could serve me well.
Yeah,
you understand?
Sometime in 2009, 2010, that was the one we championed with the National Youth Parliament.
National Youth Parliament. Okay.
That introduced the use of mobile phone, the seat belt, the crash helmet, and other stuff.
Okay, thank you very much.
From then on to now, no.
Yeah. So what happened? We had series of engagement with the Ministry of Transport. And Luakana National Assembly, number one, a National Assembly member brings a private member bill. That is National Assembly member found something is happening in the society because of lack of a particular law. So initiatively, the National Assembly member can bring what we call a private member bill. That's number one. Number two, a committee bill can also be introduced in the National Assembly as a committee bill. That is, for instance, a committee responsible for projects, which I'm chairing under the Ministry of Transport. The committee can also sit and say, we need to improve or amend so and so law. Do you understand? Then now it will become a committee bill, where the committee chairperson, myself, I will present the bill on behalf of the National Assembly. So number three, which is very common in Gambia, that is the government initiative, the executive bring a law before the National Assembly. So with regards to the Motor Traffic Act, we had series of discussion with the Ministry of Transport, and successfully they were able to, through a World Bank project, they were able to holistically look at the old Motor Traffic Act. So I can tell you with authority that it has been reversed. The old Motor Traffic Act has been. The last time I talked to the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Transport, was the minister is taking the law to cabinet this December. Okay. Do you understand? So, but before the law with cabinet, international assembly members, we are also consulted. I'm sure the police were also consulted because the consultant did it in such a way that every stakeholder And I'm sure even the transport union, we are going to be consulted, because we don't want to bring a law where the stakeholders did not have their input.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be a perfect law.
It's going to not be.
You understand? Exactly. You have to ask the journalists, how do you think about this law? Transport union, how do you think about this law? Even though National Assembly, the law will finally come to us. But before it come to us, as committee, we were also consulted. The police were consulted. Do you understand? So it was a wider and extensive consultation. Do you understand? The Ministry of Transport did with regards to the bill. So the PS was telling me now the consultation is over, and the minister is going to table it before the cabinet. So now when the cabinet approve it, it will now come to the National Assembly. So I'm telling you, most of the concerns with regards to the Old Motor Traffic Act, I can tell you a good news that they have been sorted as far as this new legislation is concerned. And I told the PS, his worry was whether the National Assembly is going to fast track the bill. I told him, you see, National Assembly politicians, we are very funny. A bill that is not controversial. Because I told him, PS, this motor traffic act is not a controversial bill. Absolutely. It's not a political bill. It's not an election bill where politicians want to protect their interests here and there. So this one, it affects everybody. Yes, I told the PS, I'm very sure when the cabinet give the bill the blessing, it comes to the National Assembly, we are going to treat it with utmost transparency, and we are going to make sure we escalate the urgency of the matter. So it's not going to be a bill that will be subjected to another wider and public consultation to waste time. Absolutely. Do you understand? And we go to the consideration stage where we can take 2 hours in a particular section. It's a politician, when they have interest in the law, and that law is brought before the National Assembly, the delay happens during the consideration stage. Consideration stage, I mean by, at this stage, we look at every section of the law. Every section. So you can see a politician can be very
dangerous. It's not protective.
Yes, so a particular politician or political party will see an interest in the particular area and want to insist on that it change. Let him know. But for Motor Traffic Act, I can tell you, Kausu, that one is going to be very fast. I saw the PS. You know, we are going to bless it. We are not going to subject it. There will be no delay tactics, because no politician has any political interest in the Motor Traffic Act. So I'm sure when the cabinet approve it by December, it come to the National Assembly January. So I'm sure before March, April, Gambia should be able to have a new Motor Traffic Act. So to answer your question, all the queries, all the loopholes, all the lacunas, do you understand? All the problems in the existing Motor Traffic Act are going to be corrected in the new Traffic Act. And that's also a good news for PRO.
Absolutely. Growth comes with challenges, still honorable. When you look at the OIC, or Battle Hardened Highway,
that's correct.
It came up with the first time most of us are seeing such highways,
that's correct,
such roads of such magnitude.
That's correct.
However, there are other problems that it comes along with, pertaining to people respecting the decorated speed limits, like somebody said, decorated. Yeah. But these are issues that are there to communicate with the drivers, and this is a growing problem. Some people don't know the proper use, or some drivers, some drivers don't know the proper use of roundabouts. Some pedestrians don't know the proper use of zebra crossing. You will see 10 meters to the zebra crossing and someone is crossing there. And these are all problems. We know the laws are there, but the police cannot be everywhere. So at every time, will we think of looking at some of the good practices in other countries that we support the police with some technological devices like cameras and others? One, to control the speed, that people will begin to receive ticket based on their number plates and then be fined, because the police cannot be everywhere at every time. But also the other issue is some people default because they don't see police officers and go scot-free. In fact, even hit and run happens.
Yeah,
so would it be part of your consultation as a National Assembly member, as an honorable member, to add some of those issues to make sure that the roads will be safer for us, not only the police? Because when it is safe for all of us, it means the police can comfortably know that, okay, Council will not default because there is no police officer.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you very much. When you talk about this Battle Hardened Highway, we started the OIC project. We were the first staff at the OIC project. I left OIC project 2022. I resigned there as deputy project manager. So this road from the inception, resource mobilization, I was actively involved. Yes, the road has some design defects. That is very true. Because during traffic count, that is why design, what we engineers, we always call sustainability of designs. You understand? You design for this generation and is able to cater for generations to come. That's sustainability aspect. Absolutely. Now, during traffic count, most of these roundabouts could have been flyovers. Absolutely. Do you understand? Because if you look at the Sukuta traffic light, in those days during traffic count, we'll be like, well, we don't need a flyover here because what we failed to capture was settlements will sprang up in Jaba when this road is done. Many people would prefer to use this road to go to Jaba, to go to Brikam, to go to Carton, to go to those suburbs. We failed to capture that. Do you understand? So that is why during rush hours, you go to that place. It's so trafficated you cannot even understand why was this design not a flyover. Then motors will just crisscross and there will be no. That's number two. If you also another design defect which is very dangerous. I don't know why the police are not talking about that. When you have the roundabout, few meters you have the zebra cross, and this was not part of the design. I have to be very honest with you. Most of these speed humps were not even part of the design because we conceived that this is a highway where cars will ply with maximum speed.
An express road.
Exactly.
Thank you very much. Express road.
Do you understand? So when I left OIC, I saw them creating homes on the road, and I refer myself to the original design. I say no, but this is not part of how we conceive this. But you must do it there.
Absolutely.
So we also failed to capture that. And that zebra crossing, right? You just turn right like this and zebra cross just few meters. That's also very dangerous. Do you understand? It should not have been there in the first place because it was not part of the original design. But for us to make the design usable, useful to Gambians, we must create those zebra crosses and we must also create the humps. And which I'm very happy. Exactly. Which I'm very happy.
The person, instead of crossing at the zebra cross, the person is using the roundabout.
So the other thing is Gambians, we are not also used to highways.
Absolutely.
Do you understand? We are not also, sometimes you'll be driving, speeding, and you see people want to cross the road by force. Imagine, it happens to me several times. They want to, instead of going to the zebra crossings, it's like it's waste of time. They want to cross wherever they and also the railings also. Yeah. If you also look at the, somebody was telling me, but these railings, they are not strong. No, but engineering-wise, the railings of the road should not be that strong. Because if it is so strong, so metallic, if the car hits it, it's going to be very dangerous. So it has to be a material that should not be that very hard, so that in case a car hit it, it will maximize the impact on the car. But people don't understand all of those things. Number two, they will also talk about solar. No, this light is not very bright. Street light, this thing, lights on the highway should not be that bright because cars already have their lights. Why are you going to be brighter? It's only going to affect the visibility on the side of driver.
Probably because we are used to the old lights.
Exactly, it should be dim. It should be dim. So that solar lights are very perfect. It should be dim. You don't need to pick a brighter light.
They are renewable energy, very environmentally friendly.
So, but we don't understand all of these things. And also, no, to answer your question, we can only facilitate National Assembly that will take us to another roles and function of a National Assembly. Okay. That is budget.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
The police, through the Ministry of Interior, should be able to work out this technology.
Okay.
What technology are we going to deploy on the road? So now National Assembly will come by giving them the budget to do that.
Okay.
But the National Assembly cannot initiatively do that.
And the committee for road safety
exactly, yes, exactly.
Okay.
My committee cannot do it. National Assembly as national cannot do it. But the police can be able to negotiate with the Ministry of Interior so that the Ministry of Interior will put that into their yearly budget.
Okay.
Technology on the road.
Us to go deep into that because the objective is how to make our road safer.
Yeah, exactly.
So we will not go into much into budget. ñu nuyu la Mr. Sambu. Gërëm nañ li nga xamantene mom moy both sides. But cowli suñ ne road safety 80% mooy driver bi parce que liñ dee wax kuy dawal moto you're considered a driver kuy use moto bi or use road bi rather you're considered a road user ndax da ngaa dox si tànka wala da ngaa egg si moto bi nga xamante ne am na driver ou da ngaa use bicycle ou da ngaa use li nga xam ne moom mooy motorbike you are considered li nga xamante ne moom mooy a road user waaye lu ëppa ci ñun ñëpp driver bi la nga represent fi driver si naka ngeen gisee li nga xamante ne moom mooy benn enforcement bi ak li nga xamante ne moom mooy compliance parce que léegi ni Pierre tudda na the issue of lights the issue of signal ak other indicators waaye major problem driver bi nga xamante ne mu ngee daw amul et triangle su defin reflector bi nga xamante ne su amee breakdown daf koo teg or sometimes fu mu koo teg ak moto bi is less than 25 meters diggante boobu noonu mënuloo seen kenn signal ne there is an alert before nit ki di react fekk hit na ko ba pare I know last time we discussed that ñu ne police yi duñ leen ko dee laajte they don't check we will come to that part when it comes to the PRO lu tax duñ dee laajte the issue of the need parce que moto ak emergency ñoo ako su emergency ok war ngaa notify nit yi ku nekk si sa kanam ak ku nekk sa gannaaw and so far lu ñoo wax suñ luwaay fii lu mu dee accept as a compromise position is 25 meters in developed countries up to 45 meters waaye gannaaw lii lañ am si suñ biir réew mi loolu la ñoo doxee naka ngeen gisee enforcement ak compliance si yoon bi
Kawsu di nuyu suma ñaari mag yi nga xam ne ñoo bokkatee plateforme bi di ñëw si sa question boobu mooy ne compliance ak triangular reflector ñu bëri dañ ko dee teg waaye driver buy ñëw sa gannaaw ñoo ko dut bàyyi xel because mus naa fekk moto bu paan mu teg ko am na van driver bu ñëw diggante moto bi ak truck bi ak triangular reflector so it shows ne people are not aware or they don't know they lost. Lu ñoo def as a Gambian and a concerned citizen is, I think awareness should be number one priority. And last program, one now, road safety should be an emergency call up because daf ñu affect ñu ñëpp one way or the other.
Absolutely.
Danga gis ne if your people are aware, certain things will be remedied. But si awareness bi ñëwut daf dee métti pour nga develop as a country. And secondly, dinaa gërëm suñ driver yi trop. In any society, there is always a bad element, and the good element should be the one to change the bad elements. Am na ñu bëri through our platform léegi ñu ngi understand what are the use of triangular reflectors ak lan la mun a soowee because tey soo tegee sa triangular reflector su moto hitee rek obviously yaa ngi seen signal ne ku sa gannaaw ne dama teg suma triangular reflector kon kooku moo nekk at fault ku la hit waaye soo tegu triangular reflector rek su dara xaw a punee rek you are at the fault.
Absolutely.
kon moo tax dañ dee jàngal suñ driver always ak fu mu mun di doon teg leen seen triangular reflector bi to be in a safe side soo gisee ne dama nañ ko utal another measures ay da nga jël bu si kanam isi ko bu si gannaaw moo gën a visible dan nga bàyyi ko noonu dara nekku fa waaye da ngaa gis ne ñun ñëpp foog ñu bàyyi blame James ñu aware our people we start talking to them directly engage them directly dinaa ñëw si honorable this new bill we are appealing as a stakeholder indeed we want it to be faster and there are certain clauses the National Assembly should look deep into it because I believe if any law come to intact, the law should represent the people.
Absolutely.
I agree.
And if the law does not represent the people, the use of the law have no use. Even the police can enforce, but if the people don't see themselves in that law, it's of no use to call it as law. Kon dafa am loi yu fa nekk nañ leen seet police are our number one partner dam leen ko dee gërëm always.
They are friends.
They are number one partners. Enforcement wise dinañ si am different tuuti because ñun luñ ko fogee ak ñoom luñ ko fogee daf dee nekk different but luñ am si yoon bi 70 or 75% of them when we engage the high authority at police they accepted it and we discuss it as family we move on and I believe loolu should be continuous thing because ñun ñëpp we all have responsibility to do kon di leen gërëm si fànn boobu waaye we all double up our effort as far as dañ ne we want to make this country 2027 a free road crash zone and I think we can do it mun nañ koo def suñ putee our head together we put our ideas together we fight towards one common goal which to save our people because man suma life yow sa life keneen life am is all in a danger because soo ma hitut dinaa la hit kon kan moo safe in this country and honorable am na fu moom mooy this Barton Harding highway zebra crossing wax naa ko NRA wax naa ko ministry ne zebra crossing fu ñu leen def from the roundabout to the zebra crossing it's less than even 20 meters.
Yeah, very dangerous.
Man mun naa ñëw di toon.
Very dangerous.
Always Kawsu man as a driver always dam day am that difficulties because soo taxawee ku nekk sa gannaaw su la bàyyut xel dina la.
Yeah.
am na dee ku ma hit dama waaj a xool ñaasi moo nekkoon si roundabout bi at sugut dama waaj a ma xool moto bi ma xool ko ñaasi mu ne ma sambu naka la ma ne ko non don't worry ku romba na safe na no problem I will fix my car si laa dem waaye all these things are upholds yoo xam ne we should look at it gis nga aduna suy dox dangay dox ànd ak moom I believe ne interior with police mun nañoo def yoon bi cameras not ne munuñ koo def we can do it
we need it.
dina cater resources for the police because on a speed limit of 60 beyond 60 nga fine boromam 200 or 300 or 500 ñaata nit ngay ticket on that day it contribute resources that resources if you mobilize it can develop another area then we started from 1 2 and we go up but suñ ko bàyyee nii when are we going to develop and we want to reduce accident.
mu nekk lu am solo Piero xam naa ne waxtu dañ later start bëggoon nañoo ibi lines ba di jégalu ak technical team bi duñ mun a ibi lines because we started very late but briefly bëggoon nañu xool li nga xamante ne moom mooy the possibility of technology because gis nañ ko si yeneen réew yi daf dee ease li nga xamante ne moom mooy the burden of police every time because mënuñoo nekk fu nekk at every time that is very true but mun gadgets yooyu noonu electronic equipment yooyu mun na leen fa represent at every time and then mun naa yokka léegi nii wax na benn affaire mooy mun naa yokka even the source of income su compliance amee before ñuy xool si allegedly community bi ñu ngi wax li nga xam ne moom mooy the issue of selective enforcement ñu ne léegi-léegi sooy dawal duñ dee wax sooy dawal moto bu tinted au moto government duñ la dee laajte li nga xamante ne moom mooy some of those checks or sometimes they assume borom xaalis duñ leen dee laajte but those are things that we didn't independently verify so moo tax ñu ne allegedly but first on the issue of technology and road safety.
waaw jërëjëf waxtaan bi am na solo trop honorable Fana bu mu wax dama ko bëgg a ñambaas tuuti. waaw mooy yëfi defar loi bi. and I think comme ni mu ko waxee the police are a very important stakeholder recently xam ngeen ne the criminal code has been repealed we have the new 2025 criminal code te already comme ni mu ko waxee noonu la te the traffic act bi tamit work is at advanced stage pour gis ne loolu ñëw because lu bëri si loo xam ne nit su ko defee si kaw yoon bi lu ñu laa teg dafa ndaw boo xam ne almost even you can repeat it 10 times it's not a problem because jamono yooyu la ak tey dafa different so that is pour nit ñi xamee noonu we are working with stakeholders and pour gis ne loolu mun a ñëw te ñun tamit dañ dee bàyyi xel based on the reports that we are also getting from our officers on the ground to also advise the command that will also send reports to the Ministry of Interior comme ni ngeen wax nii so Fana bu moo wax nii with respect to cameras and all that the Gambia Police Force just want to say ne Fana boobu noonu dafa doon loo xam ne is in the heart of the Gambia Police Force strategy because li xew mooy adduna bi moo foofu la toll absolutely wax ngeen ko fi si waxtaan ne foog naa moo ko wax adduna bi fu mu toll soo ko toppatee rek mu bàyyi la gannaaw you understand and e-policing like e-policing technology bi we have to take advantage of it if not we by force la da ngaa léete rek waaye da nga see bokka te there are efforts towards that and moo tax we have the component of the highway patrol xam nga lu nekk dafa am stages and te xam nga ñi fi government suñ ne government moom comme ñoom xam ne ñu amee budget bi and everything so lii yëpp dafa doon loo xam ne comme gars yi ko dee wax rek is in the pipeline ñu ne pipeline bii moom xam nga lu xew lu dee fees du dee lifin but what I'm trying to say is these are all loo xam ne teg nañ ko plans are on the way pour gis naka la ñu digitalise our systems pour gis ne especially the traffic officers yi dëgga they can't be naaj bi daf dee tànga boo xam ne even suñu fa defee suba naaj bi ni moo tàngee it cannot be that effective as it would be anymore naaj bi daf dee tànga te wax na fi kaddu driver suñu gisee police si kaw yoon bi rek jeex na hit and run wax na fi hit and run am nañ ay report yu bëri yoo xam ne hit and run OIC road bi fii nii nit ñu fa dee bëri na sant yàlla léegi xam naa wàññi ko bu baax a baax comme ni mu ko waxee rek and one thing which is important adherence to rule the law adherence to regulations dafa am ay adjustments yoo xam ne loolu lañ def si OIC road bi tax na ba yes maybe because of that there are some issues but again when it comes to accident relatively reduce na accident bu baax a baax.
Absolutely.
Speed bumps.
Absolutely.
Reduce na because time boobu noonu far nga dem.
Yeah.
120 140 yaa ngi daw rek dara nekk sa kanam.
That's correct.
so nit ñi nag dañ tayala boo xam ne Gambia miin nañ ko like yoon buñ amuñ designated place of moto boo xam ne foofu la moo taxaw foofu la moo pick for example from Tabokoto to Westfield nit mun naa génn kiram at any point in time mu break moto bi jël ko.
Absolutely.
so that which means ne there is no designated place foo xam ne moto yi foofu rek nga mun a dem.
Yeah.
nga génn sa
Anytime si customer rek,
waaw
so
nga
stop.
dox ba foofu noonu moto bi taxaw mu jël so doon na loo xam ne miin nañ ko ba bëgg nañ koo isi si OIC road bi.
Yeah.
nit dafaa génn rek si office am oo génn si koñ rek mu ne foofu la moo crossé waaye gis na railings comme lu mu wax yoo xam ne they are on the road pour avoid people from using that. waaye nit ñi dañ dee teg ay xeet lañ dee teg si kaw yoon bi pour mun a ñaay ñëw cross tali bi foofu noonu so loolu dafa doon loo xam ne foog naa ne dañ ko war a bàyyi xel trop zebra crossing bi xam naa li tax mu gën faa mun a nekk a boor boobu noonu because most of the roundabouts are around locations yoo xam ne foofu are the busiest te foofu la nit ñi day gën a neex.
Absolutely.
understand nga te nit ñi fu ñoo cross si la Sénégal bi soo eggee Sénégal bi dëgg la it's very short with the roundabout waaye foofu la nit ñi war a mun a crossé soo dee da ngaa dem ba boori
OIC.
ba cross
The conference
te
center.
nga delluwaat nga doxaat nga delluwaat so loolu yëpp doon na loo xam ne xam naa waaye ba tey rek
ak lu mu jege sax honestly compliance because man sometimes dama dey patrol just to get videos on road safety and honestly even on the roundabout zebra cross bi is about 10-11 meters away or maximum 20 sometimes nit ñi dañ dee tayal pour use the zebra cross they will use exactly on the roundabout this video was a clear testimony bi nga xamante ne léegi control ñu mu ko wane nearby zebra cross moom foofu nit ki exactly si roundabout bi foofu la doon use.
Well, very sad. It's a concern.
So awareness raising, I think he made mention of that, is something else we want to amplify. People should understand that these are there for self-protection. Yeah.
tax na ba last week ñun soo leen bàyyi xel ñun génn nañ dem nañ si OIC road bi dem nañ jël nañ ay videos around the zebra crossing dem nañ can you even fly over su bi fly over moo tax bu moo ñëw fu moo jeexale yow foofu nga bëgg a cross.
Yes. So
there is no zebra crossing there but nit ñi dañoo jëkkalante ak moto yi pour cross at that high speed so loolu yëpp pour nit ñi gën a mun a xam nga yooyu yëpp ñu ngi koo def as a police force because dañ foog ne it's part of our responsibility to ensure that yes the other aspect of your question with respect to selective enforcement and yooyu noonu dafa comme you cannot say ne amut because nit su waxee his own experience understand doo wax ne nit lu moo wax amut understand but lu ma wax mooy nit ñi dañu war a understand there are two things happening on the road there is traffic management control and there is checking part of traffic management so when they are checking vehicles for example lu dee am Denton Bridge lu fa dee am it's not traffic control checking moo fa dee am checkpoint moo fa taxaw moto bu nekk ñu ngi koo check but again you cannot check every vehicle. Absolutely. Because the moment a police officer or anybody on the road want to check every vehicle, then traffic do them.
Traffic flow.
Traffic do them.
Indeed.
Loolu la nit ñi dee complain.
Yes.
Da ngaa dem de see tañ yi nga ñëw ba around paraay fu ñu dee nekk noonu. Si kaw bi nga tañ yi.
Every vehicle must be checked.
No. You will get your person.
No.
Yes.
No.
Can every vehicle be checked?
No.
Yes.
That is can. Because if not, we will not have traffic flow.
Traffic we are ñoo wax de.
Yes.
We are not talking about that.
Okay.
What okay at the level of the police ni ñu dee train suñu gars yi mooy ne su nekkee ne because you are observant you are trained on what to look for in a vehicle. What kind of vehicle what kind of people nit yaa ngi ñëw moo tax moo ñëw yaa ngi koo bàyyi xel moo tax ñu ne ñii du ñëwee dañoo xool nit ñi rek romba not every vehicle ngay stop nga check ko because checking a vehicle alone can take you 5 to 10 minutes or more. Understand? But primarily moto nu moo ñëwee yaa ngi bàyyi xel moto bi you are looking at the number plate in the first place. You are looking at the screen. What is on the screen? Daa war na faa nekk waru faa nekk. Yaa ngi kooku mu ngi ñëw yaa ngi bàyyi xel naa muy am muy strap belt.
Driving condition.
Understand? Yaa ngi bàyyi xel ñaata nit ñoo nekk si moto bi. You understand? You are looking at this within split of seconds. You are looking at all of this at the same time. So gisee anything loo xam ne jar na moto bi nga check ko that's the time nga ne ko bàyyil yoon bi. Su bàyyee yoon bi somebody else is now doing that to check go through everything. Understand? But there are certain checkpoints that are meant for everybody to be checked.
Absolutely.
Every vehicle will be checked. Those are when there is an operation or a certain time of the night.
Yes.
Where we expect because man dama dee join operations yi. Dama dee dem ak anti-crime dama dee jël ak PIU pour def operations. So dañ dee nekk sometimes around 2 a.m. around 3 a.m. 4 a.m. dañ dee am checkpoint dañ dee mount checkpoint. motor buy gina, we want to know what kind of a vehicle.
And traffic is not very high at that
It's not
time.
very high because good enough.
Yeah.
People who used to come out there at that time, it's their choice to go.
Absolutely.
To go whatever they are doing. But 8 o'clock, let's say 7 o'clock,
Headed to
not Westfield. Mobile traffic, not there for checkpoint. That's 7 o'clock. It ain't them ligay. They will be at work maybe 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Ko xam dafa report 8 o'clock. So li am na solo trop.
So agree with you. I remember 2016 time bu ñu ngi liggéey Banjul and then because of what happens after the election 2016 election towards early 2017 checkpoint instead of reporting to work in Banjul at 8:30 most of us baranga jóge ko Old Joshua ak Denton Bridge rek it's already 8:30.
Yes, now coming to selectively, okay, there are other vehicles, government vehicles, you have to apply, going business around. Our expectation is, it's not 100%, our expectation is that we don't expect a government vehicle, understand that? Not about what is happening, but maybe if contain is transporting some illicit substances or you may know. It's possible.
Documentation.
You know, documentation wise, those are not the issues. Maybe private people okay, they tinted their vehicles and all that. It's at the prerogative of the officer who is on the ground. More like as a ground be, more than for post, more harm, what kind of vehicles are coming here and what kind of issues are here.
Okay.
Understand? Why do you want to officer be? Because moto yangi nyo, the fact is moto yo balion. Ni romba. Yo yangi la juta mu stop ñun mu bay ñi romba. Police officer bi ak liggéeyam ak lu mu war a def xam na ko mooy bàyyi xel moto yaa ngee ñëw di moto di ñëwee wala sanga mu ngi seppi moto yi ñu war a check ñu check ko ñooñu ñu ngi si suuf si check ñeneen ñu bàyyi leen di romba trafic bi flow mu continue waaye su nekkee daay san operation for example tinted operation they am tinko daf day génne tinted operation so it doesn't matter who are you or who you are we stop every vehicle to confirm yow ndax am nga clearance pour nga am tint o nga tint sa véhicule bi because dafa am ñoo xam ne because they are they may be into certain behaviors. So tinte, then feel because so tinte regular security person or a senior government official. That is not the case. Because tinted clearance is from the office of the IGP. You make payment to GRA and the office of the IGP is not nga apply renga am. They screen you ndah you nga am. Because in government there is a category of people who automatically can get this. But anybody else now you have to apply to the office of the Inspector General for hamne then you're set. So if you are into business or whatsoever, they are screened. If you are qualified, the office of the IGP will give you. So when we are doing our screening, we ensure whether you have it. Okay, we put a system in place. Every year, tinted bit of they change, certificate bit of they change color. Just to avoid fraud and all of that. Because soon I'm a sample. Okay, next year I will be able to reproduce this. So these are some of the things. So when police not public, buñ dee mën a d'accord si lu bëri waaye lu ñu mën a wax rek mooy ne dañoo ñu ngi def képp loo xam ne mën nañ ko pour gis ne si kaw yoon bi ñu def fa loo xam ne doon mooy li war waaw du dee ñàkk nag doomi adama any group in every society there are people ñoo xam ne ñeneen dañu ëppal waaw ñeneen ñi mooy dañ faraw nga ñooñu di ñàkka mën yaa loon ko mën ko di you understand? So and sometimes they may behave in a way that is not befitting of a police officer or whatsoever. You understand? Because my is, for example, you have a clearance for tinted glass. The police officer asks for a clearance, for example. The person produces a clearance. You ask the person, where is your receipt? You understand? Yeah. People call me and say, but what is happening? We are not. I'm like, no. What you have a clearance that is valid. As long as it is valid, it's for you to present a clearance, not a receipt of the clearance.
So that is clear.
You don't know what I'm trying to say. Not whatever because then you have to have a clearance to tint your vehicle. Now that clearance is what you are going to present to the police officer. Now if the police you present and the police officer is now asking you a receipt of payment of
finding faults.
You know what I'm saying? So that is something else. So come lola rek yo xamne lolu du ci jëm na ñaaka time to time. Why in general ñu ngi waxtaan ak suñu gaay nak because right now lolu mu ngi gëna am solo because the police reform is part of the broader SSR that is ongoing in government. Te ñu ngi def lepp lo xamne these are important information for us. Da nga gis ñun tamit li la ñoo délo dem ci office bi jotali ko suñu boss yi ñu mëna tamit liggéey ci gis naka la ñoo some of those things and talk to our officers on the ground to be able to see how best they can do their job better.
indeed dinañ jël final 7 minutes ñu ñëw wane li nga xamante ne moom mooy time mu ñu xool but we'll take final 7 minutes ñu siyaa ko into li nga xamante ne moom mooy 2-2 and then I'll take the final 1 minute but honorable just to reiterate to some of the points that he was mentioning in any language of your choice wax na lu am solo min fa kuma yaatale but finally 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much. And to answer, look at the few issues raised by the PRO. When the act is done, the act is just a framework. So to improve the implementation of the law, so you guys will have your regulations. National Assembly will do give powers to institutions to bring regulations to improve the implementation of the primary legislation. So the act that we come into present is not just okay. So it can be okay by the police, the Minister of Interior, Minister of Transport, bringing subsidiary legislation to improve the implementation of the law. To the Transport Union, the issues you raise, when the bill is before the National Assembly, a process of the National Assembly, which we call public consultation. So the key institution or association to be consulted will be Gambia Transport Union. So you guys will come as a team and tell us what you think should be in the law. Because now Assembly, we are making law for the people. We are representing people. So don't worry. What the Ministry of Transport is presented is not the final. You guys are going to be called. If you call you once, your issues are not done, we'll call you for the second time. If the issues are not done, we will call you for the third time until all the issues that you see in that particular act is done, we'll keep calling you. Because you are the most important stakeholder, trust me. So be rest assured. The National Assembly, my committee will call you on to make sure we have a law that is usable, we have a law that is acceptable to the citizens of this country, okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Mr. Sambu, finally, what to you have 2 minutes for Tagato.
Because the gërëm suñ viewers yëpp di ne suñ driver yi ne let them be law abiding. ñu xam ne réew mi ñun ñoo ko bokk we are all partners ñu xam ne lu baax pour ñun la and let's take responsibility si kaw yoon bi one nit yi we are responsible and we are professional what we are doing kon di gërëm my two brothers di Yaya ak PRO di gërëm di management of Star TV with Star Radio di leen ne thank you noo leen ñu joxe floor bi di ñëw fii every time they talk about road safety.
Indeed, Star TV, we are always available because it's a national concern. And to inform, educate, and entertain is our role. So we will always call people to inform them. PRO, finally.
Baraka bake. Insafa mana kata. Baraka bake. Nyingi kita kontan kubate kana jam puru mo si kachane nkula membe dending silola. By the ka summarize dong na kachamen ki ja wolem ko police la do ko silo ka kumata bakele. By the mobe ka wulle suba juno ko koronto kata do ko la andu motor si yata bake nyim banko kan bari moto fanan nabe funtla ni mono ko wala be tamala mono ka luwal le bi ja enta kamen no kaje ko moto ni breko bala ka do moto ni breko tala o masi bolede. Wala lampol ka do nay breko muda fasi lampol si mala memba ko masalon ko nyinde akana breko le muda kana lole isaje moto lo takinola anno fana kumata moto men fana ka moto borindi drive bo sike moto ni lan ko e moto nole wala wona na moto no wala ko police le lansino dira ko asi moto borindi nole ñun bel mo kulleti menu salam bari même kumata ka kono baake même fota jan drongolem police e ka moto le wistele moto wistero bi jele bari moto la wistero anin ka moto nyanta ka tamasilo ka nyami mo kuflante même man kiliya checkpointol jama wolle kake wala ni operation o sorta ani operation fana ba sola fana ka checkpoint lo lonni isaje si moto londi no ka moto wiste o moto wiste fana jama bu ka moto be wiste no men be siloka kat ni wonte mol la hadil fana be tinyala le mol bita kan dole sa le soto bita do ka andu man ta ambulance ko bari be fan sum private moto le kon wala ati nan kan hakilotu ni nga moto jenke cross len ke jube ni moto men nyanta ka wiste don ka fo silo bula ni nga kuje mamen sude nga fa silo bula isaje police o nyanta ka men ka sake bari nyim police o damanta kino na stakeholder ba wolle mum na drive volti andun ni be do ko ke kanen kontanta bakela kula ni ka kacha bakele kam moy na boss ñol dum wolle mo luwada la famalti akam dal luwal kamen tamandi dal ka fale wato wade police on don ki luwada dal al tolle ka luwal dal ka di mo dal ko banko nyanta ka tamandi tenni so ka woni luwa sam wala na jama ni ko police al man nyinki ten ketenin den ngamira sako nyum protest ko non be kiri public order ak bu gëna fi gëna na fali police wol tempo ngoy hani de gambenol le ko police wol ko mo mo saka protest ke nyum banko kan ibake la tenne ba sa tenne kay do sa kata IGP la office gambenol le fo sa police wol be tamaka wala sa mo non problème oti alko police ko na tamadi wala so ñin nam problème modi so ka ko musude doro kay tan ko kontan da ba ngalo be kontinel kana jam ko ni ka se continue ñu hakil bu landole
inshallah
na ka kuma ya wato wate sabu kamala mbal be ten mbal jeyla bin ñaato ko inspector general of police di muktar tula na ñaato ko be anim police be dawo da gambie kono be do ko kende balala honorable police be do ko kende bal
I agree.
I agree mol dane la ya do man do police le silo kan among easy
I keep telling people that
do katara kandirin ne mol be la official kono e conditional police le silo kan monol kan
the traffic
ñimu culture
so there is even raining you see the police on the road I agree with you Pierre
so sabu kamala mbal tendu la mbal jey
I agree with you
comme ya fo nyamin rum police will be do ko kende balala and then every time I'll keep saying it the reason why we are safe because there are people to tell us this is the route to use. So this is what time permits us for this episode of the Traffic Talk. I am your host, Kausu Baji. This program is proudly sponsored by Frontstar Driving School. For partnership, collaboration, and any other form of engagement you want to do with us, kindly contact us on 240-4041, 240-4041, or 240-4049, 240-4049. Thank you so much for accepting to honor this program. Thank you so much, the technical team. Lila ñu waxtu may jërëjëf.
thank you very much